Hi beautiful people, Davorka here again, and I hope you're doing great. And in this video I would like to cover law of attraction again. And I know this is not the first video regarding that, but you know what, when it comes to the subject like law of attraction, it feels like I'm never done. It's always something that I need to cover again. So this time I would like to cover something that is actually even maybe the vital part of this law and how you get the manifestation. And that is the part that is called resistance. At least that's how Abraham Hicks calls it. So in one of my previous videos, I was explaining the situation where this guy was talking to Abraham, and he said like that he mastered the resistance, actually the law of attraction, and he gets everything that he wants, except when it comes to the relationships. And then Abraham said, yes, it's because of the resistance. So whatever situation is, whatever the subject is, if you have resistance towards that, then you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that to get into your life, because law of attraction is always taking the path of least resistance. So whatever you have resistance about, it's not coming to your life. And usually that's the situation with money. A lot of people have that situation. And it's really interesting because once you really understand this concept, it's quite easy and it's quite simple. So in that way, I was actually talking to one of my colleagues, one of my clients, actually a few days ago. And she mentioned something. She mentions how it's really interesting that something that she doesn't really give a second thought about, it just happens in her life. And then when it comes to the situations where she really wants something, it just doesn't happen, or it happens really hard. And she's like, how come? And I'm like, yes, because you have a lot of resistance towards that. And she's like, what? How? Because I just want it. But yes, every time, see, that's the trick. Every time you really, really, really want something, at the same time, you have the opposite of that. So whatever you really, really, really want, you also have whatever you really, really, really don't want. And the path of least resistance is what's already happening. And what's happening? Something you really want or something you really don't want. You know, the opposite of that is happening. So that's why you actually attract it, but you attract it the other way around. And that's the resistance that you do and you put it there. So the trick around it is to become a person who just doesn't care. And yeah, that's a trick. It sounds really nice and really, yay, cool. Now we have the secret, but how to do that? How to become a person who doesn't care? Well, get to the bottom of it. Why do you want what you want? Why do you want to? For example, I want to pay off my mortgage of my house. Why? Because I don't want to pay mortgage every month. Why? Because the fee is getting up every month. Why? Because then I have less money. Why? Because when I have less money, I have less money to spend for something that I want. Why? So every time you put why, you go deeper and deeper and deeper. And once you get to the bottom of it, you just, it feels like you get to the main reason why. And usually that main reason is not really that strong. And it's usually silly. And you understand from that deeper level that you can live without it. You can go without it. And then you understand why the path of least resistance was there. See, because everything in life is something you really want, and the flip coin of that is something I really don't want. So whenever we are talking about something that we want, we are not celebrating having it. We are all the time complaining, and we are all the time living like we still don't have it and it's still not in our life. So if you want a car, you're not going to say, oh, I'm going to go to the store with my great car. You're going to say, oh, until my car comes, I'm going to take the bus, I'm going to take the taxi, I'm going to ask somebody to bring me there. So that's what you're attracting, because most of the times you're there, you're in the opposite direction, and that's your path of least resistance. That's what's there, mostly. And it's really interesting because we as people, we lose ourselves in that, and we think we are on the right path. But however, no matter how forced positivity we put on ourselves, we are still negative. We are creatures of habit. We're still doing the same old shit as we did before, and then we are so surprised because we have the same the same result, or barely some result. So it's really interesting that, for example, when I was younger, there were these boots, Dr. Martens, and it was really big deal, yeah, at that point in my country, and they were really expensive. And I wanted them because almost everybody in my school had them, and I really, really wanted them. And my mom was really reluctant because the price point was expensive for us at that point. And 3 years after, when I really didn't give a damn anymore, she decided to buy it for me. And I was like, why now? Like, I wanted it before, and now, because I know the law of attraction and the secret behind it and the resistance and everything, I understand it. And especially because I'm a mom, I have my 5-year old who becomes a little bit annoying at times. When she wants something, she's like a pit bull. She just goes for it, and she's so annoying. And usually when she asks me about something and I say no, and she asks again, and then she just stops and she just goes and does whatever she wants, usually I give her that. But when she's so annoying all the time, I just don't want to give her that. I have this resistance in me of not giving her that. So she made that. She made more resistance because she was so annoying. So I believe it's the same with the law of attraction. The more annoying you are, the more resistance you're building. So stop being annoying about it. Just release it. Say, okay, I want this, and thank you. As one of really nice guys on this YouTube actually says, his name is Quasi. Please go and check him out. This guy is great. He says, okay, your job is just to put the order and give the order to the universe and just release it. You don't have to think about it anymore. But if you're putting the order and then all the time thinking about it, you're just annoying the universe. I guess you're making more and more resistance towards that, and you're not getting it. And the path of least resistance is what you're going to get. And the least resistance that you have in that way is actually not having anything. And that's it. And that's what you have. So I know it's a little bit difficult to wrap your head around it. It's, it's a little, it feels like, contradictory in a way. But, and of course, like how, one of the things that usually people say, how can I act like I have it already if I don't have it? Like, but just imagine how many situations were you in where you just imagine something that you were there. We have this great thing, and that is imagination. Unfortunately, we do not use it for what it's supposed to be here. And just imagine something, enjoy, but have fun while you're doing that. Do not have that eagerness of, I'm not having it, I'm going to have it, and then I'm going to be happy. No, just be happy because you're there in your head, you're having it already. So be happy for having it. And usually what happens is, when we have something, some new toy, some new house, whatever it is, at the beginning it's so cool and so great and we're so happy. But after a time and after a while, it's just one part of our lives. It's not that we are not happy of having it. It's not that we are ungrateful. We are grateful to have it, but we just accept it like it is what it is. It's one part of our lives. So start acting like that. It's one part of your life. Do not make big fuss about it, because while you're still doing the big fuss about it, you're doing the resistance. And the resistance towards that, it's bigger. It's bigger and bigger, and you're not getting it. So That's why usually it said try to with something small, cup of coffee or something like that. But you know, it's interesting because even when you see, once I got I manifested this Tony Robbins ticket. I have the whole video about it. Go and check it out. So during that time, day after, I actually went outside with my girls and my mom, and I said, like, you know what, my car is really dirty and I have to go and just wash it just a little bit, you know, not a deep wash, just a little bit to wash the dirt off, and that's it. And I went to this car washing place, and the I tried to put the coins into that thing that you know turn on to wash your car, but it didn't work. Every coin that I had, it just pushed back. It returned back to me, and I was like, okay, then I'm going to just go to another place because they have more than one spaces. And at that point, the guy in the next space saw me, and he's like, it's not working. I'm like, no, it's not accepting my coins, but it's okay, I'm going to go there. He's like, no, don't do that, I'm going to try. So he actually put like 2 coins inside the amount that I was supposed to, that I wanted to put in, and he's like, go and try now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Somehow when he did that, it worked. It accepted his coin. And I was like, okay, so here's the money. He's like, no, don't think about it. It's okay. I was like, wow. So now, usually before, I would not even understand that this was the part of law of attraction. But yes, I attracted this guy. I actually attracted this situation. So it was not a huge amount of money, but it was something that was given to me because I attracted it. And I was just I'm building my momentum all the time. I talked about it in my last video regarding the law of attraction. So once you do not have that resistance, your momentum becomes bigger and bigger, and you're building it. And you have to be open to see it. So now I'm just enjoying day after day, and just going my way and trying to find something good and joyous in every day. Of course, it's not always easy. Of course, I lose my shit quite often. I do get overwhelmed and tired and everything else. But most of the day, I'm happy and I'm joyous, and I'm just thinking, how can I help other people? And that's where my focus is. How can I be of more service? And when you go through the day like that, you have less resistance towards some things that you want, because it's not because you're altruistic and then you're helping others. It's not because because of that the world is rewarding you. It's not like that. It's about what I'm attracting. I'm not so hard on what I want. I know what I want. I know it's here, and I trust the process. I trust the universe. I trust God, and it's going to happen. When the time is right, it's going to happen. It's here. It's in the process of making, and it's in the process of delivery. But in the meantime, I'm just enjoying myself, and that's all there is. And I hope you understand this, and I hope you understand what resistance is. I'm sure that I'm going to cover a few of these topics again in my later videos, because this subject is so interesting to me, as I mentioned before, and it feels like a well that just doesn't have any bottom. So we can always find something to talk about when it comes to law of attraction. But for now, I think I'm done for this video. This is enough. I do hope you understand a little bit, and you are going to ease up your resistance towards something that you want, and just enjoy your life. Just put your mind at ease, your wishes at ease, and remember that after one wish is fulfilled, other wishes are going to come. So nothing is a matter of life and death. And that's just the joy of life, and that's the beauty of life. And okay, so check out my other videos, especially when it comes to the law of attraction subject, and see you on my next video. Until then, hit like, subscribe, and bye bye for now.